Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Stories with A.G. Flitcher. Today's first episode will be about the day my mom passed away, and then one moment when I'm done of the funeral. So, this happened 7 years ago. The way the day started when she passed away, I was at work. And then I had the shortest shift I ever had, an hour and a half. Ridiculous. Anyway, when I got home and I was just changing into my street clothes because I visited my mother daily in the 2-month hospital stay she had until she passed away, I got a call from the doctor saying that her time is short but unpredictable, meaning she was terminal, but they had no idea when she was going to pass away. So I said okay, and I'll let my father know. I texted my sister saying that I was done work and that I'm on my way. She's like, get here fast, hurry. And normally I don't think much of what my family and friends say in terms of like concern, but she had so many grammatical mistakes. It looked like she was either emotionally unstable or in shock or in a hurry. So I knew there was something wrong. So I got finished getting dressed, got into my car, and went to the hospital right away. I get there, I park, I go into the lobby, and some of the family friends were there looking at me very distraught, and I had no idea why. I mean, I knew it was a tough time, but I didn't know why no one was saying anything. Because I said, hey guys, I'll see you up there. And they didn't say a word. I go up to the third floor, and instead of pushing the door open, I tried pulling the door open. My dad's like, just push the door open. So I go in. My dad says my mom passed away. And for the first time, I see my father crying, and I had never seen that before. So it was really tough seeing the man that I always thought was very reserved and didn't really show emotion, just crying his eyes out. My sister and her friend who was there for support cried as well. But me, I had this long minute where I wasn't saying anything, I wasn't crying, I was just having this out-of-body experience. So the reason why I felt that way is not just because of my shock, but I actually felt like death was there. As if there was this, this dark energy. And I know this can sound very strange, but I actually felt this hand on my shoulder, like very bony, as if death was actually telling me, I'm sorry, son, but I have to take her away. Her time here physically is done, but she'll always be there with you spiritually. I truly felt that. So of course, I started crying, and then we all hugged each other, and my dad said, if you want to stay and say goodbye, go ahead. And I said, I won't be long, Dad. So I held my mother's hand, looked at her face, and I said goodbye and kissed her on the forehead. And what was strange to me is that I still felt heat when I was holding her hand, as if it hadn't been that long that she passed away. So we all drive home individually, and of course I have no idea what's going through their heads and what they're doing in the car, if they're crying or not. Anyway, I think I was 2 minutes away from the house, and I said, you know what, I need to give myself a cathartic scream right now, because if I don't say anything now, if I don't give myself a visceral reaction to this loss, I'm gonna just hold everything in. So I yelled the word fuck as loud as I can, so harshly that of course my throat really hurt and my whole face was wet with tears, and thankfully I had hit the brakes on time, because I couldn't see anything, and I was just at an intersection, so it would have been dangerous if I wasn't lucid enough to know my surroundings. I get home, everyone's quiet, no one says anything, of course, because we're all in shock. We start, messaging everyone. Of course, we didn't call anyone because we don't have the, emotional stability to actually say words. So, my karate instructor comes to our place with pizza to show support, and was very quiet because we were just still in shock. It was gonna take a long time for us to be able to carry ourselves with stability. You know what the funny thing is? My heart is racing right now, and of course that was a very tough day for me. Because I had never lost anyone, especially someone close to me. And what really bothered me through the years, I felt like I was the only one openly grieving and being emotionally transparent and grieving outwardly instead of internally. I didn't like the idea of bottling things up and occupying myself so I don't really have to think about it. I can't do that. I would implode if I did that. So, I always talk to people, and I'm sure that you've gone through some loss like that, whether it's from your loved one dying from cancer or another disease or maybe a car accident, I don't know. I hope that you can relate to my experience, but I'm going to tell you the toughest or the most visceral emotion I had, which is on the day of the funeral service. I was one of the 4 people that had to walk in between the pews with the coffin and push it towards, is it the chapel? Like, where the pews are here and then there's that section there where the priest is. Anyway, we had to push it there. But I was in such shock that I had a hard time actually putting my hand on the coffin. So, I don't remember who it was, but someone was saying, "Hey, Andre, you have to put your hand on the coffin and start pushing." And my hand was hovering above my mom's coffin. And the reason why I was so petrified of that action is because I knew that as soon as my hand touched that coffin, the shock will wear off and reality will set in that physically my mom is not there anymore. So when I did, I knew that it was over. I couldn't talk to her face to face anymore. I couldn't, confess to her anything, confide in her, or have her confide in me. I actually was like, I felt like there was like so much electricity going through my body when I put my hand on there, because it was this breaking of reality that it was over. And the reason why I miss her so much is not just because she was my mom, but because I felt like she's the only one I could relate to. So when I asked my father twice how he was doing with my mom passing away, he said the same thing. People die. People come and go. At first I was upset that he would be so cavalier about his response to my question, and that he saw death, even the one of his lover, and the mother of his children, as if she was a stranger. As if death is such a common thing to him that whoever it is, that's life. But there were times where, before he would say something, I could see the internal pain in his eye. So at least I know I can at least feel that it's still there, the grieving of his loss. So I just learned to accept the fact that everyone grieves in different ways. Just because it's not the way I grieve doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean they don't feel anything. Doesn't mean that they're dead inside. I used to think that when I would think about that answer from him. But I learned to just accept the fact that not everyone accepts the passing of loved ones in the same way. And the way they process their emotion and how they think about that person through time is different for everyone. I may be more outwardly spoken and I have, strong emotions and I'm not afraid to express them. That's why I love to write books, because I know that I feel strongly because I'm a very passionate person and I care a lot. I miss her so damn much. I used to think that I was the only reader in the family, but she was one too. She read more like John Grisham books, but at least I knew that I wasn't alone in my love of writing and reading. I really hope that you can relate to what I'm talking about here. And that if you are going through a loss now, or have been in the past, that you have someone to talk to. Because I had no one to talk to. I did my best to talk to other people, but I always felt alone in my grieving. One day, I said to my sister when we were on a family vacation that I missed my mom. And she said, well, she's still here, Andre. And of course, I got emotional and I understood what she was saying, but I just wish once someone would confide in me the same level of emotion that I felt outwardly. It's not that I don't think anyone feels the way I do. It's more, I wish I could hear it from someone else. Anyway, that was episode 1. If you have any stories, that are similar to mine that you would like to share in the comments, or on my Facebook page when I link that up, and Instagram as well if you want to, please share. We're all here to help support each other, and I hope you have a great day, and happy reading. Okay. Bye.